Hello, everybody. Catch AIDS here. How different might my life had been had I not got into heavy metal music? Heavy metal's kind of like AIDS. Once it's in your blood, it's probably there for life. Had a lot of people that said, "Oh yeah, you'll grow out of that in a few years," but here I am now, still going. All right, so I don't care if you like or subscribe, but pretty please check out my channel description for my heavy metal wish list. And if you have anything that's on that wish list, please send me an email. Now, I don't know about you all, but I do not choose the songs or genres of music that I like. No one has to tell me what to like. I know what I like when I hear it, and most of what I do like falls within the heavy metal category, particularly in the more extreme forms of heavy metal. The it factor that cannot be measured in our current systems of measurement, not measured by speed or technicality or how low the tuning is, but it's what gives me goosebumps. Attraction is not voluntary. Your parents and society and your friends and your system, the system, they don't tell you what kind of romantic partner to whom you should be attracted. You just automatically know an attractive person when you see an attractive person. So, what kind of women am I attracted to? The kind you might want to make a baby with. There you go. And I'm no different from anybody else. All the social pressure in the world, getting back to music, all the social pressure in the world can't get me to like Tejano music or mumble rap or anything that I'm just not going to like. I can't force myself to like a good friend's band if they suck. But about music I like, it's not a choice. For me, it's an involuntary compulsion. And I feel that's pretty much the same way for a lot of heavy metal fans. It's another vice. It's another addiction. Everything I listen to is like a passive indulgence. It's a dopamine hit. A constant form of stimulation that we're just not without anymore. We're always around music in our homes, in our cars, in our public spaces like our gyms, bars, stores, whatever else. This is only in relatively recent human history where things are like that. And in places where they don't have electricity or speakers, the only music they have is whatever they're playing themselves live. So we're constantly exposed to music in countries advanced enough to have our horrible first world modern conveniences. Heavy metal fans largely do conform to a lot of negative stereotypes, and I have conformed to a lot of those negative stereotypes myself. One such stereotype is that heavy metal fans are kind of outsiders, losers, people who are alienated, people who have a feeling of, I never felt comfortable in my own skin. I'm no different. So that's a common theme among us, but one thing is, listening to heavy metal kind of turns off a lot of people who, and you can make the valid, saying that, who cares what these people think? I could agree with that somewhat, but, sometimes listening to regurgitation, might turn off a few people, but I really love regurgitation. I love Mortician. Okay, where was I here? I do find it ironic that metal fans are stereotyped as being closed-minded when regular people would absolutely not open up their minds to anything heavier than, say, Enter Sandman. And even that might be a bit too much for most people. To some people, even Metallica's more commercial material sounds like an indiscernible ball of noise. Now, my addiction to heavy metal has cost me a lot of time, cost me a lot of money. Now, I spend far less time on the internet than most people. The only social media that I use is YouTube. And it's still too much. I'm checking out Narcotic Wasteland site. When's that new album going to drop? Kill Division, when's that new album going to drop? I'm still waiting. I'm checking every other day. Haven't got an update yet. I spent way too much time posting on heavy metal message boards and reading articles on Blabbermouth. Blabbermouth nowadays is reduced to old people news. Every single story is about somebody dying or having a health problem. In between stories like, Overkill has a new drummer this week. And I remember when I used to put on shows in the Dayton, Ohio area, I put in a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy invested into putting on these shows, only to have bands and fans whine about everything from the temperature to the venue to the time allotted for the performances. And these people would occasionally trash the venue also. I never really expected this channel to get monetized. I've spent a lot of time and resources on this channel. But last month, it finally did get monetized, so I'm going to be balling out of control. I'm probably going to make another $100 a month off this channel. Now, if I had any aspirations of being one of these big YouTubers, I would probably put a little bit more effort into editing these videos. Said this before, if I'm chasing clout or doing this for money or fame or attention, I am in the wrong form of music. I generally don't really enjoy going to shows anymore, and this is largely because I'm too old to mosh. Now, I'm in spectacular health and in spectacular shape for a 48-year-old man. But I'm still a 48-year-old man. I don't know if you can tell from watching my videos, but I'm not a little guy. Anybody over 6 feet tall and over 200 pounds like me probably shouldn't be jumping off the stage. Now, I used to enjoy going to shows because, with moshing and stuff like that, it felt more like a participant in a sport, whereas now I'm reduced to a spectator standing in the back with my arms folded and bobbing my head. Yeah, this is good. Now, do I want to quit listening to metal? It's not voluntary. I can't quit. And like most addicts, I want to have my cake and eat it too. I want to have the pleasure without the negative consequences. So that's all I got to say. Tell me your opinion. And when you insult me in the comments section, please be a little bit creative. Don't just call me a poser or call me an out-of-touch old man.